guys, this is Tabletop Vibes, and today we're taking a look at Fight Deck by High Octane Studios. This is pretty freaking awesome.
This is awesome.
Especially if you're a fan of 2D
fighter games.
Yeah, like Capcom, Street Fighter.
Tekken not really Tekken,
it's a little bit
Smash
more.
Brothers, but that's really stretching it.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to fight somebody face to face without a screen and in a card form, this is the game for you.
Yeah, 100%. And it's really cool. So I played as Dragon Fighter.
Well, I played as Covenant Supreme.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I like your character more, but
I kind of like your character more. We should have switched. We played back and forth. We played back and forth a bunch of different times with different characters.
But yes,
with the two. There might be more expansion characters, possibly. I think.
Yeah.
And then everything. This is a prototype, so everything is subject to change, possibly.
Yes.
But yeah, it's super cool. You take on a fighter, and you take on their deck. And then you have a couple different kind of cards. You got basic cards, which are blue. Wake up cards, which are yellow. They're essentially block cards. And then you have super moves that are red. And so the game is kind of broken down into 3 phases. So you start with the neutral round. Then you have combo round. And then the wake up round.
Well, let's go into neutral then.
Yeah.
And what I find is neutral, you pretty much top deck.
Yeah, it's pretty much as it's stated. It's neutral.
It's neutral. Yeah. So you grab 3 cards and hold them in your hand, and you play them as options into the combo round, but this is neutral.
Yes.
Top deck after you grab your 3 in your hand, and you pretty much go until either one person hit confirms or goes by highest number.
So in this game, you have your action cards. So your deck is made up of a bunch of cards. You're going to separate 12 of them to form your action deck. The rest of it is your life points, or your life pool.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's your health. And so you have your life points, pool, action deck, burn pile, and you then also have a meter area because you're like you're getting all what is it? It's not Super Saiyan, but it is like Super Saiyan, where like you're powering up to do some cool super move.
You're gonna have a layout of actions
of super moves to be able to choose from to spend that meter to then deal that kind of damage. We'll go over autonomy of a card real quick. You have the stance, so you have jumping,
crouching, right, standing.
And they all have little colored indicators that point toward a different other opponent's card. So winning battles is really big on this. We'll go into that more. You also have the hitbox, speed, how fast you're delivering those punches.
Right.
The key cost, the dynamic effect, where the end card points to which other round, which we'll go over, and or if it's damaging your opponent, because then that damage is drawn off your life points into your action deck, which is really cool. And then you also have your meter cost, which is you're building up your strength to deal huge damage.
Super damage.
So winning battles is based off of stance and or speed. And so if I'm crouching, not tiger and not hidden dragon, but whatever. If I'm crouching and I have a blue indicator and Christian plays a basic card that has a standing icon, and then though he doesn't have any indicator depending on what part of the body he's aiming for,
right,
I would win. If my indicator didn't show that and we both had the same color, then we go to speed. And if we don't, we tie, we draw a new card from the action deck and kind of go from there until one of them points us to a next round, either being combo round or the wake up round. So it's pretty cool.
And if not, it pretty much ends at a combo breaker too. You also have to be careful with that.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's really kind of a dynamic system on how it works. They're kind of each their own phase. So like neutral phase, combo phase, wake up phase, and they all kind of are independent, but then they all work together. And you start off in a neutral phase because you're neutrally like, it's like the dance,
you're standing,
right? Where you're like doing the whole like, I'm gonna punch you, but we're not gonna punch yet.
Right.
And then you go for it.
It's all about going into fakes. Okay, am I gonna actually go forward? Am I gonna kneel? Am I gonna block at this point? Or am I gonna backdash?
Yeah, exactly. And the other crazy part too is winner takes all effects, loser takes no effects, and damage maybe.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about the next phase, which is the combo phase. So in the combo round is a little bit different than the neutral round. You're fighting. The neutral round you are fighting, but now you're going to get a chance to combo. anyways. And so in the combo round, you're going to play cards out. But the cool part about this is that you're playing cards out, or should be playing cards out, in descending order based off of speed. And if you can do that, you can combo more attacks, dealing more damage, hopefully. Whoever has to succeed, or you put pressure on that person.
Pretty much you break the combo.
Yeah, once you break the combo, it ends, and then you tally up how many cards in the column that you did, plus if the last card has damage or not. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think on my I think one of the times I did 6 damage to you, which it's actually not that greatest, but
it's not the highest quantity of obviously damage, but he's done it twice. Literally, the 2 times that we like ran through it and like played it, 6 damage. Yeah, okay, going to neutral again.
The bunch of times, the first initial 2 times that we played, I was dealing damage. Then Christian got pretty smart about stuff, started countering more, and then he started just laying into me. Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. It does feel good to be the judgment and the jury.
The jury, 100%.
But it is like it's a very fast-paced, quick-moving game. Mm-hmm. It's not a lot of downtime. There's a lot of player interaction because you're like and a lot of it is like simultaneous reveal.
It really is.
And you're like you're just hoping that you got the upper hand. The other cool part is in combos. So once it breaks, the chain is done, and then you move all your blue cards that are basic to the meter, and then fulfill the effect, and then it goes into. And then if it shows you and gets you toward the wake up round. Wake up round is super awesome. You pick up all your yellow cards that are blocks.
Blocks, yeah.
Yeah, essentially you're bringing in more cards into your hand for the round of the wake up round. And then if I initiate the wake up round, I can also play a blue card into my meter, but Christian would have to play a yellow card, which is wake up round cards. And then we resolve the same way, based off of stance, based off of speed. Mm-hmm. And then whoever does that, the blue cards go into the meter, and the yellow cards go back down to the reserve. And then depending on where that goes, you literally go back into neutral, combo, wake up round. And you just do this until somebody's KO'd.
Dude, well, and I remember doing this even on fighter games, which is building up your meter, keeping it there, and not having to use it. Right. Going to the next round. Okay, I have it. I can use it whenever I want. And either I could do it by chance to see if he's going to pull, a low speed, or if my stance gets better than his.
Yeah.
Right?
And you can choose whether or not how far... And it's not really press your luck, but it is. And you can choose to play a card, or you can just choose I'm just going to take the damage.
Right.
I think inside the combo round and the neutral round, you can play super moves.
You can.
If you can spend your meter to do so. Obviously, if you don't have the meter... you can't spend.
Now, what's great about some of the effects, too, is you can take from your discard or your burn pile, especially, let's say you do that meter, you can actually take and remove from there some of the cards which would actually give you really a lot of those great, an upper hand.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Exactly.
Roundhouse kick.
Right. And so it's just all these different things that you know from video games, like, you got knocked down, well, now you're getting back up. You did an uppercut, you're shooting high, the person's blocking low, you're doing mid, they're blocking high, right? I mean, like, it takes all those fun aspects.
Well, and I would have loved to have seen more grappling in this.
Yeah, there are some throws, though.
There are some throws, but man, I was like, okay, why, maybe he threw me once or twice, and I was like, I needed it like 4 more times just to get the feeling of like, you're actually throwing me into the corner here. Right. Now I actually have to like perform, or I have to actually like get out.
Yeah, and so like the cool other part is in the neutral step, you're pressuring your other opponent. If they can't, if they don't have cards to rival you, then they just lose the confrontation essentially.
Right.
But you can also then, if you say, like Christian was already talking about a little bit, if I have that 6 meter banked, and then you're in the neutral round, and you're like, well, no, I'm taking a hold of this.
I can't really,
spend the meter, play your super move. Well, now I'm being pressured, and I got to
you're on a chopping block at this point.
Right. And so it's whoever wins gets to do that damage, take the effects, either be an extra card. There's a bunch of cool effects. We'll put them up on the screen that the cards do and different things while you're fighting. I mean, it simulates 2-player fighting game pretty well.
Yeah. And I'd love to see more with this, because just with even the 2 starting characters, it's such an investment. It's such a joy to play, and I think with more characters, it creates such a different dynamic.
Yeah, and the replayability will be higher as well, which then makes you want to come back for more. So I really hope that they bring in more characters.
And I think I'm stoked about the meter though. The fact that when you're blocking, you build that meter just like a video game where you actually get that high increase of like, okay, I've got 3 or 4 more now cards that are going into my meter pile.
Right.
And
as like an opponent, I'm watching that and I'm like, what is he waiting for? Right? Or when is the other shoe going to drop and you're going to destroy me with some...
It's like, at that point now I've got almost 2 bars of meter and it's like, okay, I can spend 1 and I can actually still keep building to a second one right away.
Right.
Which then if I go into another combo round, I can just immediately kill.
Right. And if I spend mine, then it's kind of like who's going to spend their meter first kind of feel where like...
It's all...
But at the same time, if you're not attacking, you're just losing life, because if you lose your whole entire life points pool, you're dead, right? You're knocked out. So it's like this whole kind of cool balancing mechanism, like when to play, when not to play, how much damage to let, when to throw down, and then hope that you have the card that you need, or the one top decking for stuff.
Dude.
For combos, you can also you can play a card from your hand, or you can just top deck.
And we went pretty long just top decking for a good solid minute.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're going to bust at some juncture.
No, right.
Or break your combo. But,
yes.
Again, it's really cool. The dynamic of it is awesome. I can't wait to see more characters. It's coming 100%. To Kickstarter super soon. Again, if you're a fan of 2-player games, quick turnaround games, high interaction, fighters with cool characters, and you're a fan of nostalgic Capcom, Street Fighter, those kind of video games, then this is definitely up your alley.
Take that 16-bit all the way up to literally 3D.
Yeah, Come on. Exactly. So, subscribe, and comment on your favorite 2D fighter that you've liked growing up.
I would say so. And what about a super move?
Yeah.
What was your favorite super move growing up to use?
What was yours? Super move or character?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so mine was Ryu. I was a basic guy. Ryu, Ken.
Come on.
No.
I mean, those guys were good.
No.
Hadouken, right?
Okay. Blanca or Akuma?
Blanca
or Akuma.
Yeah.
Especially in Street Fighter, those two.
Yeah, I really like Blanca because he got electric. But then I also like Dazzlem. Is that how you say it?
He was the weakest.
So he is. But the arm dude, Dazzlem, he's shooting his arms out and his legs everywhere, and he's just always floating around.
Yes.
That was my favorite. So definitely let us know. We're Tabletop Vibes. This is Fight Deck. Check it out. We'll see you next time.